Good morning. I'm Robert Tan. From your wallet to the wider economy, join us as we follow the money. Every peso has more competition than ever, with rising living costs, subscriptions, travel, online shopping, and investing. Something always gets pushed to the bottom of the list, and for many, that's insurance. Now, how is the insurance industry adapting to today's Filipino consumer? Today, we follow the money with Jose Ang, Chief Product Officer of InLife. Good morning, Jose. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, Robert. Really great to be here with you this morning.
Thanks for joining us this morning. Now, Jose, let's start with this. Now, when we talk about insurance, if insurance is thought to be essential, why does it always lose to online sales, beach trips? Now, is it a Filipino problem or a marketing and awareness problem right now?
I feel like it's the latter. And also a little bit mixed into that is capability. Because I feel like what really happens for a lot of folks is they understand the need. They know they want to save. They know they need that insurance. And it was revealing in the surveys because we had surveys the past couple of years, both on Gen Xers, Millennials, Gen Zers. And it was the same thing. We need to save. But then capacity comes into play, right? Because you can only stretch your wallet so much every month.
Especially today.
Yes, right? With the fuel bills, the surprises there, utilities. And then what's left na lang, diba? There isn't much left. So, essentials tend to take the priority. Whatever's left in the basket, that's all you can play with na lang. And the second problem stems from there, diba? If there's a little bit left over, sometimes your first feeling is, I really worked hard for this. I want a break, diba?
Yeah.
Let me enjoy it also a bit. And then on the flip side, when we are ready to kind of invest that money, put it in somewhere that will make it work for you, it's that barrier of entry, right? Feeling safe enough na you can put it in a place you trust. Is that there?
Yes.
And I think it's that education piece, no? Kasi we don't learn about these things in school, di ba?
Yes, totoo.
Insurance, when do you hear about it? Nag-work na tayo di ba? You don't hear it a
Plus,
lot,
when you
right?
talk about insurance, sometimes, kasi when it started, it was just life insurance. Parang morbid, no?
Yes.
I don't want to talk about, mortality and all that. But I like what you mentioned. They know the need, but there's such a big gap if on executing on that need. So how do we try to lessen that gap, especially today?
I think it's creating that comfort and the literacy and the education piece. No, we don't learn about it formally. Kaya we're less adept into it, right? Banking stuff, we've always picked up on that ever since kids tayo. We hear our parents. But insurance, we don't hear that a lot. So it's really telling that story. And that's something I love about insurers in general. Everyone's doing their piece. There's an insurer reaching out, Takaful, the Muslim Brothers. We also have players focused on literacy for school kids.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing we do here in InLife. We have a Sheroes program that's focused on women empowerment, how we can bring in insurance as partners to help them really grow not just their businesses, but their outreach plans. We have InLife Foundation also that reaches out to schools to teach them and their families about financial planning. So it's really those things na we need to build up.
Yeah.
Actually, our latest campaign, medyo funny, it's called Shawi's Essentials.
What?
Shawi's Essentials. Yeah, so we have Sharon, our brand endorser, and she's literally in the grocery. And you have people going through the grocery and then they're picking up basic necessities. May mga tinapay, etc., tuna. And kasama doon, yung mga insurance products. Kasi we like telling the story na it sounds scary, but in fact, it's a need. And it comes bite-sized when needed. No? It is affordable. Just need to talk to the right people, let them know what you need.
But why is it that the mindset hasn't really changed from different generations, from the Gen X to the Millennials to the Gen Zs? Now, again, they know it's a need, but then at the back of their minds, even my generation, the Gen X, you're the Millennial generation, it's still seen kind of like an expense na hindi kailangan right now, especially when we're kind of forced to tighten our belts today.
True. I think it also spurs to the fact na it's so intangible, di ba? If you put your money sa bangko, nakikita mo siya nandyan, safe sa'yo yan, right? You buy, you go to a trip, You have all of the pictures to create those memories. Pero yung insurance, yung hawak mo lang isang kontrata. And then, di ba, after that, okay, it's paper. Do you really feel that there, right? And I think that's part of the mission of all insurers in the country, putting out the message that we're here to partner with you, not just in the sad, morbid times na may magkakasakit, may mamamatay, but there are also solutions to protect you, to help you recover, to make retirement easier. And I think the critical part there is being able to communicate with the generation as they need to be communicated with, right? So Gen Xers will have a style, millennials will have a style. Fortunately, a lot of the agents across the industry, they're from those generations. So madali na may kaibigan ka, pwede kayo mag-usap. But for Gen Zers, right? They're kids, they're intimidated, di ba? Lalapitan pa ng tita na parang, ito, bumili ka. Then it's like, whoa. So it's really communicating to them in the ways that they are receptive to. So being on the right social media outlets, and then also giving them solutions na kasha actually for their generation's budget.
So you really have to be creative in terms of, I've mentioned this before because we are now at the forefront of attention economy. Attention span right now is getting, di ba? It's getting shorter and shorter, di ba? Yung long form format is parang medyo, it's kind of waning, but it's still there. But that's why you have you cut it into reels. You cut it into 1 minute, 30 seconds, because you have to get parang you gotta hook them right away.
Correct.
If not,
they're gone.
They're gone.
Right?
How creative? How much has the strategy changed in the insurance industry? I know the product itself has evolved. There's so many changes. Hindi na siya life insurance. There's so many aspects that's with it, the investment part and all the other parts. But in terms of it evolving into something that people would really want at the end of the day, na talaga at part the essential na talaga. It's something that needs to happen.
So there are two things I've really noticed just across the industry. First one, operationally. And this is a branding that I find funny because even when we speak to our other insurers in, say, Japan or in the US, everyone hears the same thing. Yung insurance napaka-dinosaur, sobrang lumang style, no? And I think that's where technology is really helping us revisit those experiences so that when people come on board, they get a plan, something that will help with their savings, retirement, or health goals, no? It's something that moves smoothly. But at the same time, having teams that also focus on communicating to our clients the way they'd like to. So we have a very young social media team in our company, and I feel it's the same for other companies, so that we're there on TikTok, on Instagram, FB for a little bit older age groups, right? So we're there, we talk, we have the right ages managing that messaging, and it's not all parang serious PR work always, and that's something I found very funny and refreshing, with the team I get to work with in InLife. There are going to be those spiels where there are nice art cards, they remind you about the benefits of insurance. And then there are the lighter side posts na they ride on the latest trends na medyo nakakatawa. It's like, okay, it's just a very human aspect of the people trying to deliver all of these goods and services. So
it's nice to see, creating more awareness, looking at the trends. But again, when you look at the wallets, parang hindi pa parang it's still kind of hard to get the customers' wallets out and really pay for insurance. But looking at the latest data coming out from the World Bank, it just declared us to be an upper middle income country, no? But if you look at in absolute terms, there's still many that are underemployed, unemployed, uninsured, struggling with inflation. Now, what does this new upgrade by the World Bank mean to the insurance industry? Does the label change anything, or is this just a number that will just, put at the back of our heads again?
I think by and large, these kinds of news are always exciting. No? Lalo na tayo sa Pinoy, we love hearing positive news. And it's a nice reinforcement. Kasi sometimes we get too much into our heads also na parang nako, sobrang kawawa tayo dito sa Pilipinas, parang ang dami nagkakagulo. But when you hear news like that, no, you start to realize also, the upsides, the improvements. I feel that strategically from insurers, it's always been clear for, I've hopped around quite a bit, and it's always been quite similar across the board. No, you will have different niches of people with different capacities to purchase insurance, and you want to make sure that you target each of those niches.
So different strategy for different.
Correct. And like you said, diba, if budget is always going to be the concern. You want to make sure you have solutions that hit that, right? It was on your show also, we saw those statistics, right? I think 1,200 pesos per Filipino spend on insurance per year on average across the Filipinos, right? So that's about 100 pesos. And, do we have something in that range for 100 pesos a year, 1,200 a year?
So something
5,
in the pipeline.
Yes, so those are the things that I imagine all of us insurers across the industry are making sure we
Affordability
make.
talaga. But also one aspect that seems to be a stumbling block in the insurance industry is the trust gap. Insurance carries two reputations. The relative who corners you at the reunion and the company that profits off people's fear. Because, when you talk about insurance, sometimes they don't want to talk about it because there's some people think it's kind of morbid to talk about your mortality when you're still alive, you're still young. But which one is harder to shake? And how do you fight it?
I feel the latter is harder to shake, no? Kasi when they think of you as a corporation that's only there for death, for negative stuff, and then you're there to profit off of that, parang hirap to bridge that gap kasi.
Plus, when we're young, we think we're untouchable.
Correct, also,
Diba?
right?
Invincible. Na parang, no,
So it's
I don't
really
need
putting
this.
out, diba, that story na parang, no, you do need it. And I find that quite uplifting kasi I feel like almost everyone in the room will have that Facebook friend na naging agent somewhere. And they will have a post from time to time na, we heard of a client, nagkasakit bigla, nagkaroon ng benefit, na save yung family. And I feel like that's the essential thing that we want to tell our clients, no? Na as a company, we're not here lang for morbid things. We are your partners in life. We can give you the solutions you need for savings, retirement, education. And that's something I love about being in a mutual company that's fully Filipino-owned. Everything generated within the company goes back to Filipinos. We make the economy boom and work, just like other insurers, but everything really back. And because it's a mutual company, si InLife, now this is an interesting thing. We don't have shareholders in the typical sense na you have major corporations buying stocks in the company. Our owners are actually our policy holders. Kaya from the get-go, yung number one priority in InLife, which our CEO always reminds us before we launch anything or do anything, is that going to benefit the policyholders most? And is it going to be best value for them?
So a different kind of vision, now more personal basis na parang we're not really here for, although it is a business for profit, but that's just parang icing on the cake.
Correct,
Parang we're here, it's part of the help that we're giving, trying to take out that fear. Is that the strategy right now?
Yes, and that's really the story we like to remind them. We're here, we're your partners. That's why there was this campaign launched, Love InLife. And paulit-ulit there's this jingle, Loving InLife, and it's because we all want to live our lives as carefree as possible. And we're, a fun partner to have there because we will have solutions to go along the different parts of your journey. And I think essentially that's what every Filipino wants naman eh, di ba? We are a fun-loving nation. Gusto natin masaya.
Take out the morbid thoughts,
Take out the
diba?
morbid thoughts, di ba? Just in case may masamang mangyari, nandito kami.
In case lang
Just
naman.
in case. But otherwise, marami din tayong magagawa together na you can enjoy with us your life.
Parang peace of mind rin, right?
Which is the most, I feel, important mission of every insurer, di ba? Yung peace of mind is priceless, di ba?
Oh, yes. So, lahat naman
Makatulog
tayo
ka sa
kailangan.
gabi na alam mong okay yung pamilya mo, okay yung loved ones mo, di ba? Walang masabit. I feel like that's the number one thing.
I know, so we still have a lot to discuss. Very interesting now, especially yung evolution nga ng insurance, no, from traditional and now trying to create more creative ways to get the younger generation in on it as early as possible. But we'll be right back. Keep following the money. Welcome back to Follow the Money. Still with us is Jose Ang, Chief Product Officer of InLife. Now, Jose, we have this question from a viewer. Many policyholders today say they're losing money on their VULs. This is one thing that has evolved in insurance, where there's an investment part of that insurance. Now, with that component, now, part of a VUL is invested in funds, let's say, depending on the let's say
the risk appetite,
the risk appetite
local,
of your
global,
insurance. But
correct.
why is it falling right now, and how is that affecting the industry in terms of people trying to get in trying to not only protect themselves but also trying to earn from this?
So there are two trends we are seeing right now in the industry because of this. No, the first one is a lot of educating, especially those who sell insurance. Yung mga VUL, especially the ones where you have to pay multiple years, right? I think those are where we hear so many heartbreaking talaga na horror stories na pinasok ko, 5 years, nagbayad ako, 8 years.
For the benefit of our viewers, before we expound on that, Jose, for those who don't really know what a VUL is, the variable unit linked products that's embedded in the insurance. What is it, and what are the benefits, and how do you explain that to your clients?
So this is a plan where you buy insurance. You can typically select how much insurance you want, given the amount you want to pay. So it's very flexible kasi kung may budget ka, 10,000 a year, 20,000 a year, and you want protection maybe 10 times of that, 200,000, 500,000, you can customize it that way. And what makes it interesting is because a lot of your funds tend to be invested in your selected option. No? You can choose from local, bonds, equities, or global ones. You can potentially see your money grow while enjoying protection. So yun yung parang pinaka-pitch ng mga VUL na to. And I think the tricky part there is sometimes it will be sold as investment, explain, but in truth, because such a large amount of protection was purchased, what happens is, syempre, with that protection, you will have insurance charges. What really happens is, over time, because the insurance charges are so much larger pala, nauubos yung funds, no? And it doesn't help na medyo flat pa yung Philippine economy, so a lot of the local funds didn't quite perform. So really to that, my feeling talaga is a lot of education has happened across the industry. We like reminding any sellers of VUL plans to really have honest conversations with your clients. No? Kung pang investment siya, choose a very small death benefit for the plan so that it really doesn't get a lot of insurance charges. By and large, by the 8th, 9th year, you'll probably be fully invested and growing like expected. And if it is for protection, because there are clients who really want large protection, you know, you can really get into that. Yung mga breadwinners, right? So that is something that we like to remind. No? It's really re-educating what's the purpose and how to use it properly.
But besides the education part, no, like financial literacy to that, how do you get them to say that, okay, I'll invest in insurance with BUL rather than going directly to the money market? I'm going to go buy bonds here from the government, or go to the stock market and look at the different stocks that I can purchase. Because the UITFs, man, is it more local? Are they invested more in local, or can it also be put in global funds?
So there's a broad swath, no? But typically we see most of those coming in now, going into global funds, kasi they are really seeing 20-30% growth, particularly if you're in semiconductors, technology. There is a lot of growth on that front. Na sulit naman kasi yung market natin locally medyo flat. So it does create that access. That's a nice pitch, but also we just need to make sure na akma siya sa risk appetite. That's why the second thing that the industry has also been doing has, besides that VUL, which tends to be the most popular product, there are a slew of what we call traditional products. Itong mga products, if you're looking for savings, interest growth, it's all guaranteed. And that's what we're seeing in the industry.
Guarantee. Kasi usually pag VUL,
there's nothing guaranteed.
There's nothing guaranteed, right? So now, for those, because the UITFs, they're not really performing well right now. So when you talk to your current clients, how do you get them to stay instead of because in the money market, it's a lot of competition. You have the banks, you have the fintechs, you have other insurers also, and even the crypto space are fighting for the same peso that the insurance companies are also fighting to get. And especially now, the penetration is very low, at let's say 10 to 18% absolute terms. But in terms of premiums, it's only around 2 to 4%. So in this kind of cutthroat industry, Jose, who is the real competitor? Apathy. People are more apathetic now about, and and people will say, "I'll just choose to buy nothing at all. I'll just put the money somewhere because I have to tighten my belts. I'll just buy experience."
I feel that's the case of it. It's the apathy, or maybe the fear also that comes with it that is the true challenge. Because when you think about it, like you mentioned, the Philippines, 2% of GDP, 1.8 to 2% of GDP goes into insurance. If you compare to countries like Malaysia and Thailand, and these industries started a lot later than ours. No, ours started way earlier. They're already at 4 to 5%. And then you have countries like Singapore,
so small,
through to Thailand, no? Nasa 9 to 15% sila. Singapore, South Korea. So when you see these countries, there is a lot of leg room, no? Between all of us different players to really grow and protect more Filipinos. And I think that's the space we're seeing as a financial services industry. We all want to reach more Filipinos and help them reach financial independence. And the trickiest bit that we see there is really just making sure that we also remind people that there are perks to being in the insurance industry. So by law, in both the insurance code and the BIR tax code, typically, your insurance benefits are tax-free. So yung 20% withholding tax that you usually see na kinakaltas when you have your time deposits, other bank instruments, but you see those auto charges coming in every month, di ba, sa mga kasa.
But on that part, yung awareness, hindi pa siya masyadong malakas. Not a lot of people really know about that kind of benefit. But looking inward now, on yourself, Jose, you sell protection for a living. You create the kind of products that you think that the generations really need right now. But for you, what's one financial decision personally in your own life that's non-negotiable? A real answer, not what we learn in textbooks.
So I'm one of those folks na we do want to reach financial independence as soon as possible. I think in almost every survey, diba? So retire by 50, diba? Happy na after. Figured out my magic number to support that goal. And it's the decision to make sure I meet my monthly target of what I am able to put aside that really rises to the top. So that with the instruments available in both the banking industry, in digital fintechs, or in the insurance industry, we're able to deploy those savings and then really build up retirement. So for me, that was the key thing. Figuring out my number and then making sure we hit that month on month, year on year, so that we reach those goals na komportable tayo by the time we want to be financially independent. We want to reach the stage in life kasi na we're not just working because we have to, we're working because it's what we find fun. And then the money does all the heavy lifting.
Now, if we look at the insurance industry, one sector that's not really being tapped are the lower middle income class, those who are, really don't have savings. Are there products today in the insurance industry that can tap those who, let's say, with 100 pesos lang kaya nila, pero insured na sila? Meron bang ganun?
Credits to the Insurance Commission. They really pushed out micro-insurance as a priority. And you'll see a lot of these, kahit papaano. So even for InLife, a lot of other players also. You'll see shops on Lazada, GCash, all affordable. On the InLife end, meron naman. And we're quite excited kasi we are going full force. Seeing what we can do across.
But still a lot to do. But Jose, I wish we had more time to discuss. There's so much to talk about, how to get people back into insurance. But we have the segment called Rapid Fire segment. Just answer yes or no. No need to explain.
Got it.
Let's start with this. Should every working Filipino have life insurance by age 25?
Yes.
Okay. Is life insurance still necessary if you're single?
Yes.
Okay. Now, can emergency savings replace insurance? Yes or no?
No.
If you only have money for one, investing or insurance? Saan?
Insurance.
Okay. Can you finally be secure? Financially be secure without insurance? Yes or no?
No.
And finally, let's say, strip away the title, the company that you're working for, the product lines that you're creating. Let's follow the money. If your own family had nothing left but what you personally protected, would that be enough?
Fortunately, yes. Fortunately, yes.
But not everybody can say that, no?
But not everyone can say that. And that's really the mission, di ba?
Yeah.
We want to make sure everyone has a lifetime for good so that they're all happy, secure, and they can live their lives the best way they want to.
And just a short question, finally, for those watching right now, quick advice.
Leverage technology. Talk to ChatGPT. Talk about your income every month, your cash flows, how best to reach your financial savings goals. And with that, really figure out a plan together with it so that you can reach your financial independence. We're a happy partner, a lot of good partners in the Philippines, because in the end, that's all we really want to do, diba? An awesome Philippines where everyone has peace of mind at night and they can live their dreams.
On that note, Jose, thank you very much for joining us this morning and sharing your insights. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
And that's all for today. I'm Robert San. Thanks for watching. Keep it here on the Bilyonaryo News Channel, and always follow the money.